Hello, everyone. Welcome to episode 24 of our Survivor series. My name is Joe Buffalo, and I'm joined with Leo, the Ender Dragon. How are you today?
Good.
Good? What do you want to do today?
Build a watermelon farm.
You want to build a watermelon farm?
Yeah.
That's a super idea. Are you ready to get started?
Yeah.
All right, let's go! There are many reasons you can have a pumpkin or watermelon farm. One of those reasons may be to just have food. Another reason may be just to trade with villagers. And the last reason could be just to have a bone meal farm. And that's exactly what we're going to use this for. In our farm design, we're going to need a block space of 22 by 22. Here's what a 22 by 22 area square looks like. Let's go over the mechanics of how a pumpkin and watermelon farm works. So a watermelon needs water to grow. We need to have a block of water near the growing area of the watermelon. Now, this works just like the wheat and the beets and everything else we grew. As long as you're 4 blocks in every direction of this water, you'll be able to have one water source to grow the watermelon. So what we're going to do is put a piece of soil right here, and we have our water next to the soil. Now you're going to have to hoe the dirt. So go ahead, Leo, can you hoe the dirt for us? Yep. Once that's done, then you can plant your seed. So we have a melon seed. And as you can see, the melon seed is just a tiny little seed. Now we can sit here and wait for this to grow, or we can get some bone meal. So to grow it, so a little bit of bone meal. And you can see that there's 3 different stages of this stalk. The little one, the middle one, and now the tall one. And now we have to just wait. You can't bone meal the fruit to grow. So the fruit or the vegetable will either grow here on this block, here on this block, or here on this block. So if we eliminate the idea of it growing on this block, then it only has an option to grow here or here. Once it grows, you're able to harvest it, and you can harvest it with any tool you choose to harvest it with. You can also use a piston to harvest the plant. So at this point, if we were to put a piston here and it was to grow here, we would be able to use the piston to push the melon or pumpkin down. Or if it was to grow over here, we could put another piston. So if we were to turn those pistons on, you can see that it'll push the melon or the pumpkin and it'll harvest it for us in this area. So instead of standing here manually and flickering the lever every time that a pumpkin or melon grows, we can come and actually put in an observer. If it were to grow, the observer would be updated, causing a redstone pulse out of the back of the observer. Therefore, if we were to put a block here, redstone dust here and here, once this updates, it'll turn on the redstone, and then the redstones will activate the pistons, and the pistons will harvest the fruit or vegetable. Now, it's going to push it forward 1 block. What we could do is make a water stream, and that's where all of our pumpkins and melons will end up. At that point, we can put our composter in. That'll go ahead and make our bone meal, and then we'll be set to have our bone meal farm. Next, you're going to want to decide where you want to start your collection area, and we're going to start our collection area right on this bottom left-hand corner. So starting from your collection area, you're going to start and look to the right, and you're going to go 5 blocks this way. So 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. And then on that spot, you're going to place a block of choice. In our case, we're going to use jungle wood. And then from there, we're going to count 17 more blocks. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17. Now we're going to go ahead and leave a space, and we're going to put down a dirt block, and we're going to count 17 dirt blocks this way. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, and 17. The next thing we're going to do is we're going to place a wooden block right here. And then we're going to come to the beginning, and we're going to hoe every other block the whole way down. Next, we're going to come behind this dirt blocks and place a block of our choice again, the whole way down. Now we're going to go ahead and place a piston on every non-hoed dirt block. Then we're going to come behind and put a observer in each spot, just like this, facing the same way as the piston. Next, we're going to run another row of blocks the whole way down. Then we're going to go ahead and place a block behind each observer. Now we're going to go ahead and place redstone in every spot beside the block we just placed. Next, we're going to take a bucket of water and we're going to come down to the block that we placed down here in the end and add water to that block. And it's going to flow all the way to here. Then right at this point here, we're going to put a sign. And then we're going to drop another bucket of water right here. And as you can see, a sign separates the water and allows you to use it as a source block of water. And then it extends 8 blocks down. Now, in order for items to flow in the water and get into this next spot, it's not going to work on the sand. So what we're going to use is a piece of ice. And you're probably wondering, well, how did you get a piece of ice? Well, let me show you. And blue ice. Oh, give me 1 second, sir. You've got some good stuff. All right. And then I want some blue ice. Just taking what you got, man. All right. Thank you. Have a wonderful day. Man, I just spent a lot of money. And of course, that was on our Twitch stream when we were preparing for this video. So what we're going to do is take this block out here and replace it with a block of ice. And as you can see right away, it slides right across the ice and into the next water source to be pushed along. If we come back here, you'll see it work in action. There it goes. Past the ice into the next water source, all the way down to the very end where the collection spot will be. And next what we're going to do is put our pumpkin seeds in here. And of course you're going to see an update because the observer is getting a state change and every piston is going off. And that's it for this farm. If you wanted to leave it at this point, you could. You'd put some glass around the end of this and you'd be all ready to harvest your pumpkin or melon or whatever you wanted. But of course we're going to make this bigger, so we're going to continue this farm. So what's really awesome about this farm is that you can expand it up and duplicate it as many times as you want. And it's really simple. I'll show you how to do one level. So we're going to just go with a block of choice again, all the way down. Now with the block of choice that we just put in, we're going to add a block of dirt to that. Next, we're going to start here with a piston and skip one and put a piston and skip one and put a piston the whole way down. Then we're going to come from behind and put an observer in. Next, we're going to go ahead and run a block of choice again all across the top here. Then we're going to go ahead and place a block behind each observer. And then we're going to put redstone in between each of the blocks we just placed. Next, we're going to get our hoe and we're going to hoe in front of each observer and plant a seed. And again, you'll see it update after we do that every time. And this side is completely done. All we have to do is put the glass in to enclose it. It would start catching all of the pumpkin that we planted, but we're going to leave it open for now and glass everything at the end. The next part of the farm is we're going to come up 5 blocks. So 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. And then we're going to come over 8 blocks. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. So we're going to start our first one there. And then we're going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 blocks this way. And then it's the same process behind that. We're going to skip a row and put dirt blocks 8 across. And then we'll show you what the rest of it looks like when it's all completed on this side. So here's both sides of the farm completed. I planted melon seeds here and pumpkin seeds here. And what we can do on the back side is build a exact same replica of this and just use the same method we used over on our bamboo and sugarcane farm where we used the same redstone. So we'll just go ahead and build it on the reverse side of this. So if you see, we'll just put a row of block here. And then we'll go ahead and connect that row of block with pistons on every single redstone area. So here, here, all the way down. And then we'll put a row of dirt in here. And then of course here we have to put our observers in with them, make sure the face is facing this way. So this is what it'll look like back to back. Put the water stream in. Now we can go ahead and plant the last 4 melon seeds that I have. And now all the melon is done except for the long 17 row. And now we're going to build 2 more pumpkin here and a long 17 row of melon there. That should be evenly distributed for both melon and pumpkin. Once the side and the middle is 100% complete, back to back 2 sections, I'm next going to go ahead and do the exact same thing I did in the front row here on this. So we're going to go 17 down and make it double high. The melon pumpkin farm is being successful already. As you can see, there's a pumpkin floating right here. This is what it looks like once all of your pumpkin and melons are planted and your observers and pistons are in place. Here's the one corner. Here's the other corner. And here's the other side. And then if you look inside here in the middle, we set up both water streams so that they're all flowing this way, as well as this one here. So this entire run, all of your melons and pumpkins will flow this way, and then we're going to send them out that way to the front. We're going to set this up the same way as we did in the ends with one little difference. We're going to dig down one space, and we're going to go the entire length one space down. And what you should see is something just like this. And then what we're going to do is place a bucket of water right on this bottom piece right here. Then we're going to come to this spot right where the water ends. We're going to place a sign here. After we put the sign in, we're going to go ahead and dig this out. And again, put a piece of ice in there. And then we're going to go ahead and place a bucket of water right here. That'll flow down to this point here. And as your melons and pumpkins are harvested, they'll flow down each one of these canals into this water path, which will all meet here in this spot. The next thing we're going to have to do is replace some of these sand blocks with sandstone, because we're going to dig underneath here to build a collection system. And if we start digging under here, the sand will collapse, the water will fall inside, and then all of our redstone will get messed up. So what we could do is just dig these out right where the water's at, put those in there right on the beginnings here, but we know not to dig any higher. Next, we're going to go ahead and dig this, and all this out right here. Then we're going to go ahead and place a bucket of water right here. And we're going to go ahead and place a sign right there. And now everything from this run will flow into here just like that. Perfect timing. Next, we're going to come to this spot here and we're going to dig out 5 blocks. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Then we're going to dig out 4 more. 1, 2, 3, 4. Then we're going to dig one here just to have a nice little step for us. Go ahead and place a hopper facing down. Dig this block out of here. Jump over to here and place a hopper going into that hopper there. And now once the pumpkins and melons flow down here, they'll go into this hopper, which will place it into this hopper. And now we have a new tool to introduce to you, which is called the dropper. The dropper basically consists of 7 cobblestone and 1 redstone. And what the dropper does is exactly what it says. It drops items. So if you were to have a dropper and say we had a piece of redstone dust connected to a lever here, whatever we put in this dropper and we turned on this lever, you could see it shoots an item out. So if we were to do it again, it'll shoot an item out. Next, we're going to go ahead and dig this and this block out. Go ahead and place your dropper in there. Now we're going to go ahead and dig down this block here. And we're going to do the same here. And what you should have is something that looks like this. Next, we're going to go ahead and take this block out here. Next, we're going to go down in here and we're going to dig out an area that is 3 by 5 deep. And then once you're done, you should have something that looks like this. Now we're going to come and put a redstone comparator facing the 2 prongs next to the dropper. And you can see that when the lights are on, that there's items inside the dropper. If we were to take these items out, the lights go off. So now that the items are back in and the lights are on, we're going to take this power and we're going to reverse it by placing a block here. And then we'll split it by putting a redstone dust. Let's place a block here and a block here. And then we're going to take a redstone repeater, place one there and one there. What that does is it increases the power and splits it in 2 different ways. So we have power going up this way and power going up this way. And what we're going to do next is place a piece of redstone dust right here. What that's going to do is create a clock. That clock is going to keep the power continually turning on and off for our dropper so that it'll shoot the items out of the dropper. So as you can see right now, the pulse is turning on and off, around and around and around. Now we can slow it down by turning our repeaters and turning them down. And you can see now that it's slowed down. So we're going to go ahead and slow this down a little. Now the right side's complete. Now let's finish the left side by putting in a redstone repeater here. And then a block right here, turn on our dropper. And there it goes. Now we can go ahead and fill all this back in. Now we're going to go ahead and create our water elevator. We're going to come to this point here once everything is filled back in, and we're going to bring everything back up to the surface here. We're also going to place a block right on top of this hopper. Now for our purposes, we're going to go 5 high here. You can take this elevator as high as you want. We're going to use jungle wood on the sides and glass on the front and the back. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then we're going to jump down here and do the same thing. Then we're going to come over here on this and we're going to put 5 pieces of glass in. And the same thing in the front. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now we're going to go ahead and take a bucket of water and place it right on this block here. What that's going to do is flow all the way down to the bottom. Now we're going to go ahead and swim down here and plant our kelp all the way to the top. And once your kelp is planted all the way to the top, swim back down. And we're going to take a piece of soul sand. We're going to get rid of all the kelp. And we're going to replace the sand with a piece of soul sand. And you can see immediately this turns into a water elevator. Every block that's inside the elevator needs to be a water source. In order to do that, that's what the kelp does. That's why we planted the kelp. So now every time that an item comes down from any of this part of the farm is going to come up here and float at the very top up here. And you can see it shooting up to the top. Now we're going to go ahead and build this same elevator right on this corner. Our second water elevator is completed. What we're going to do now is climb up here and we're going to connect the two. And to connect the two elevators, it's 10 blocks between the two. So we're just going to go ahead and use our block of choice here and go right across to connect both ends. Next, we're going to go ahead and place a temporary block here and a temporary block here. We're going to go ahead and place our blocks of choice here and here as well. And again, we'll run this the entire length down. And then when you're done, you should have something that looks just like this. And I want my blocks to look like this. And then we're going to place a block here, and glass here, and glass here. And then place blocks here and here. And what you'll have is something that looks just like this. Next, we're going to place a bucket of water right here. You can see that it's already flowing where we need it to flow. We're going to go ahead and place a sign here. Next, we're going to take this block out of here. And we're going to place a piece of ice here. And again, you're going to place another bucket of water right here. Now we're going to go ahead and stick a piece of glass here and a piece of glass here. Next, we're going to go ahead and place a temporary block here. We're going to place wood here and here. Next, we're going to jump down to the ground and we're going to put a chest here. We're going to climb back up there. We're going to take this dirt block, this temporary block out, and we're going to put a hopper going into the chest. Like that. Then we're going to take this block out of here and we're going to put a piece of ice in here. And we're going to finish it by putting 2 pieces of wood here. And as you can see, everything is flowing into the chest from the entire farm. Now we're going to go ahead and take this chest that has the items in it and build an automatic bone meal producer for us right here. All right, underneath this chest, you're going to go ahead and place a hopper. Underneath that hopper, you're going to go ahead and place a composter. And you can hear it already filling up with items. Next, we're going to go ahead and place another hopper. And then right here, we're going to place a chest and a chest. And that's going to give us bone meal. Now, the farm is 100% working, but we're losing a lot of melons and pumpkins because nothing's enclosed. And now we have to go and enclose all this in glass and take down our temporary blocks of white wool. One thing you can do to turn off the composter to make the bone meal is you can add a block right here, then climb up here, add a piece of redstone, and then you can stick a lever on that block. If you turn that on, you can see that the hopper is locked, and if we want to just have pumpkin and melons, we can just harvest them from the single chest instead of having it go through the bone meal process. If you want to turn the bone meal back on, you just click this lever back on. You can see it turns the hopper back on. You hear the composter make the bone meal, and into the chest goes the bone meal. So to put glass on this, I'm going to put orange where the pumpkins are growing and green glass where the melons are growing. So in order to make those, you just need some dye with glass. And again, orange dye is made by combining red dye with yellow dye or finding orange tulips. And the green dye is found by taking cactus and smelting it. And to enclose these in glass, all you have to do is power up here to the top. Come out 3. Another 3. And another 3. Then you want to build your front. Then when it comes to your top, you can go ahead and place a temporary block here and then place a glass here. Take away the temporary block and add your glass the whole way down. And once you have your glass all the way filled in, go ahead and put the front on all the way down. And that's with one side of it completed. I'll go ahead and close the rest of the farm, and we'll see what that looks like when it's all done. Okay, one thing to add to our farm is to make sure that you put a ceiling up there on top of your elevators so that the items don't go shooting out to the left, right, or anywhere else other than the water stream there you want them to go in. So what do you think, Leo? You like it?
Yeah.
It's pretty cool. You can see the pumpkins going up. You can see that watermelons going up really fast. It looks pretty neat. How do you like the orange for the pumpkins and the green for the melons?
Yeah.
Isn't that really neat?
Yeah.
Well, this looks like a very successful melon, pumpkin, and bone meal farm. What do you say we go and play a game?
Yeah.
All right, Leo, what do you think about playing the bow and arrow game?
Good.
Good?
Yeah.
All right. You want to go first? All right, go ahead. You go first. First one. How many arrows do you want to do? You want to do 10 arrows? All right, let's go. You go first, and I'll go first. All right, here we go. Ready? 1. Oh, I missed. You're up. Oh, 1 for Leo, 0 for Dad. Ready? Ooh, 2 to 1. Leo's winning. Okay, Leo, if you get this, you win. You get it, you win. Go. Nah, you won. Congratulations, Leo. All right, me too. Great game, bud. You want to say goodbye to everybody?
Yeah.
All right, let's go say goodbye to everybody. All right, well, that wraps up this episode. I hope everybody had a great day. I hope everybody learned a lot about melon and pumpkin farms. I hope everybody learned about how to make bone meal and how to use composters. I hope everybody learned about how to use water elevators and water systems to move items. Everybody go ahead and hit that like button and smash that subscribe button, and we'll see you in the next video. Bye!